One of the fifth dimensional templates within the consciousness field of humanity's internal library is the Garden of Eden. This fifth dimensional template is visited or accessed by the majority of individuals undergoing an ascension process. Accessing this particular template is a rite of passage of sorts, although not every individual will experience the garden as a template. There are those individuals who move through an emotional scale with little clairvoyant visualization present during the waking state. However, even within these rare individuals, the pineal gland is activated during sleep, and out-of-body experience and dream time often involves the garden template being presented. There are also those individuals who return time and time again to template landscapes within other planetary systems. The Garden of Eden template can still be experienced, as the fifth dimensional template system is not locked to any particular planet. It is usually experienced within the familiar setting of the planetary system one is incarnated upon, at least when first accessed. If the Garden of Eden template is accessed through the interplanetary gateway, the garden will still be presented, but will look slightly different than an Earth presentation. The garden itself would not be presented into the ascending individual's subconscious DNA fields as a distraction. Too many unfamiliar, un-Earth-like symbologies would distract from the overall learning experience the Garden of Eden presents. Therefore, the differences between Earth and other planetary system symbologies will be subtle. The garden template, known on a collective level as the Garden of Eden, is a place of contemplation, creativity, and wisdom. The template is part of the Divine Akash, the Akashic records, and the template presented or accessed will, in all likelihood, be similar to your fellow ascending individual. The garden itself, on a symbolic level, will usually be experienced outdoors, with sky overhead. Occasionally, an indoor garden will be experienced. The garden is depicted most often with plants, trees, flowers, and stone or crystal structures. Earth templates have stone structures, most simply steps, fountains, and similar stone pedestals, sundials, and garden ornamental features found on Earth. The crystal structures usually present when a planetary system outside consciously known Earth is experienced. Individuals who were in full incarnation from, or who have imprinted from, individualized consciousness of Atlantean, Lemurian, and other pre-known history, cultures, and civilizations will also most likely experience crystal structures within the garden. For the memory fields within the DNA hold the memories and/or imprints of that civilization. Atlantis was built upon crystalline structure, and as most individuals who move through an ascension experience link into these memories or imprints, then they will hold knowing of the importance of crystalline structure as a working technological system. Yet still, the crystalline structures we speak of do not necessarily have to be experienced within the garden. There are infinite templates and landscapes within the fifth dimensional realities to be experienced, and indeed to be created. The Garden of Eden space may be devoid of humanoid life, yet often one will find a master there. Many different Ascended Master presentations are to be discovered within the Garden of Eden template. Usually this is a one-on-one meeting with perhaps one profound and meaningful sentence spoken by the Ascended Master. Yet at the same time, the Master stands within sacred symbology. Working with the language of light, universal cosmic DNA language, will assist the Dreamtime Traveller, or Merkaba-activated individual, to decode the symbology surrounding the Ascended Master within the Garden of Eden. Colours are most significant, found standing out in their vibrancy within the dress of the Ascended Master and within the flowers of the garden. Fruit, especially apples, are often depicted. The apple itself is a strong, well-known alphabetical numeral within the language of light, meaning abundance specific to knowledge as yet unknown. Taking a bite from that apple is accessing knowledge, in part, from the whole. There is both a positive and a negative interpretation here, for the accessing of knowledge moves one into an expanded or enlightened state, yet also moves one away from innocence and thus purity when one attains knowledge. For the balanced ascending individuals, these belief systems held within humanity's consciousness can be bypassed. This is done through a unified field thought process, where knowledge, combined with an open and a pure heart, leads to unity. When unity, the 0 point, is attained, there is no loss of innocence or gaining of knowledge or power, for the loss of anything and the gaining of anything is a linear experience, and the 0 point field of unity is non-linear, circular, and spiraling in its geometry. Therefore, the bite from the apple can signify the moving into that unified field. The perspective you hold when moving into analysis of the symbology within the garden template is paramount. Hence the reason why some individuals have experienced the Garden of Eden and have returned with negative experiences that they have shared. Speaking of the garden, whilst beautiful to behold, holds sinister and malevolent energy. This is an experience that one has if one accesses the Garden of Eden template prior to heart opening, or through an accelerant such as a mind-altering substance, or going through a part spiritual experience. The garden itself is neither positive nor negative, benevolent or malevolent, dark or light. The Garden of Eden is a neutral template that mirrors your own consciousness. We repeat, the Garden of Eden is a neutral template that mirrors your own consciousness, your own mind, thought matrix, and your own emotional state. If you experience a negative presentation here, it is as much a learning experience as a positive presentation, for the Garden of Eden is the garden of knowledge, or perhaps more appropriately, the garden of wisdom. If one experiences the Garden of Eden template when holding a dualistic paradigm within thought, emotion and will, still swinging between opposing polarities, yet simultaneously experiencing a spiritual awakening, then one will experience the dualistic nature of the Garden of Eden template. Dualistic energy, the swing between opposing polarity, is presented as the twin, or the number 2. So clues to your state of consciousness will be found within all 5th dimensional templates, including the Garden of Eden. If you embrace unity as a concept, yet not as an experience, you will be presented with symbols of unity and experiences of duality. If you embrace unity as a concept and an experience, then your Garden of Eden template will depict this. You will most likely feel a sense of peace, security, and safety. Your Garden of Eden will be very much your sanctuary, and it is at this point you can most effectively utilize this template as a tool for creativity and manifestation. if you stand as the archetype of the scribe within your life, and indeed this will be the case for any individual moving through an ascension process in balance, for all creative aspects are embraced within an ascension process, then you will find the Garden of Eden a place for contemplation and the accessing of ideas, storylines, subjects, and epiphanies. The presentation of the apple, picked from the tree and handed to you by the Ascended Master, is the symbol that you are the conduit. In the context of the scribe, you are the channel. The apple, uneaten, whole, and formed within the perfect circle, holds the divine seed within. You, the scribe, are the conduit between the garden and the world of matter, bringing the knowledge and wisdom into the third dimensional world through the written word, thus planting the sacred seeds. If you picked the apple from the tree yourself, then in the context of the scribe, it would not be the muse flowing through you in your presentation of the written word, but you standing as the omnipresent director of your own story, bringing forth the wisdom from the Garden of Eden through your own ideas and creativity presented from the third dimensional perspective. A different form of creativity, yet just as needed, just as significant within the physical realm. Another symbol often seen and experienced within the Garden of Eden template is the serpent, snake, or dragon. There are those who experience the garden as if it were a moving universe rather than a fixed point in time. In this experience, the garden itself is a vortex, a wormhole, and you, the seeker, experiencer, or traveller, are passing through worlds, passing through time, moving through dimensions. The garden here is otherworldly, for it will not depict any particular planetary system, rather a kaleidoscope of colour, moving parts, geometries, vivid colour presentation. One will see the plant, flower-like structures, but within this vortex presentation of the garden, the serpent, snake, or dragon will most likely be seen and experienced. This, in the context of the vortex, is the geometry itself. The snake or dragon standing within the collective consciousness field as a power symbol, a symbol of knowledge and strength. Yet the snake, symbolic of fertility, creation, and kundalini, is also the symbol of incarnation itself, the ultimate creativity. The dragon stands as the ancient storyteller, the weaver of the dream. The dragon, the guardian of the gate. Also the symbol of incarnation, yet also discarnation. For the dragon stands at the very doorway between the worlds of matter and antimatter. Within the actual fixed garden, one may see the snake within a tree or upon the grass, or see a dragon flying above, or perhaps a stone dragon sitting atop a building or other structure. Or one may simply feel a presence and know this is the serpent energy, snake or dragon persona within the Garden of Eden. It is your emotional state at the time, combined with your own paradigms, belief systems and consciousness, that the serpent figure represents. And this is the case for the entire garden and all presentations within it. In the case of the serpent within the tree, tempting one to take a bite from the apple, one of the strongest symbolic presentations of the Garden of Eden within humanity's collective consciousness, this is the symbol for creativity, expansion, and life itself, incarnation itself. The kundalini raising, the illumination upon the activation of the third eye pineal gland, and the movement from duality, polarity, into unity. The movement from the two, the twin, into the one, thus making the three. the Holy Trinity, triangle geometry that then expands into the 5-pointed star geometries and the Merkaba activation. The bite from the apple, the consuming of the fruit, the seed, makes you the conduit for that seed. And as you incarnate into matter, into the dualistic polarity experience from the unity of the garden, you move through the temptations and the challenges of the physical world. Therefore, have you come from the Garden of Eden? Indeed you have. The garden, as a 5th-dimensional template, is the metaphoric presentation of Source itself. God's holy garden, if you will. The flowering of the field within in abundant colour, the inner rainbow of the DNA. The garden, the place where seeds are planted, grown and consumed. If you find yourself within the Garden of Eden template, and your experience is one of peace and oneness, then indeed you have come home. We repeat, indeed you have come home. You need not leave the physical body or the incarnation in order to experience the life between lives or the world between worlds. The Garden of Eden is the ultimate sanctuary and the ultimate mirror for self. Within this garden are the most profound messages experienced within the utmost simplicity. The flower, the stone structure, the tree, the ascended master, the apple, the snake. Creativity, contemplation, solitude, peace, wisdom and incarnation as in manifestation. The garden is the halfway point between the thought idea and the manifested physical matter counterpart to that thought idea. The Garden of Eden is the 0 point, unified field, experienced as a freedom without walls, outdoors within nature, under the life force giving warmth of the sun or the rejuvenating mystery of the moon. The Garden of Eden is the garden of magic, and it is here that you will make manifest your dreams, discover your true self, and plant yet more seeds as you take your place within the circle of creation. The Garden of Eden is at the very heart of sacred geometry, and it stands as the innermost point within your DNA memory field matrix. Everything holds meaning within the garden, and whilst this is a collective template, it is also most individualized for you, for it represents all that is you, all that is truly you. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9.